Work is being done every single day to make Greater West Bloomfield that much better. And all that's being done by talking to our residents and understanding what they want to see from the city. And that is exactly what McKenna has been doing to understand what the residents want and using that to help put together their master plan for the city of West Bloomfield. Joining us right now on The Splash, we have the Senior Principal Planner for McKenna, Brian Keesey, joining us right now. Brian, good morning.
Good morning, Jake. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you with us and interested to get into this conversation. What can you tell us about what this master plan is? What is the master plan and why is it necessary?
Yeah, the master plan is a document for the township that talks about specifically land use policy and shapes the vision for what you want to see in terms of residential uses, commercial uses, industrial where it makes sense, things like that. So we're developing policy for the township that can eventually be turned into regulation, so that we can hopefully encourage the development that the township is seeking in the future.
Interesting. And you gather all this information from talking to the residents of the community. And what have been some of the things that the residents have wanted to see here in Greater West Bloomfield?
Yeah, so we completed about the end of 2024 an online survey and collected responses from residents, business owners, property owners, and even those that just work in the community and live elsewhere. We've heard a variety of things relating to more housing options, a concern for needing to develop some affordable options so that people can move to the township and continue their lives in the township. We've heard a lot of demand for additional restaurants and activity centers along Orchard Lake, and amenities for families with younger children. So those are the big topics. I'd also say that one of the things that we learned is the preservation of natural resources, one of the things that drives people to the township and continues to be. And so everybody almost across the board really placed an emphasis on the importance of maintaining that moving forward as we continue to develop and add more services.
Of course, it's always a great priority to keep those natural resources safe. And gathering all of this information, how does the collected info impact how this master plan is formed for West Bloomfield?
Yeah, we will summarize all the feedback that we have gotten to date. We still are doing some individual interviews with, we're planning to meet with the Chamber of Commerce, the Greater West Bloomfield Faith Alliance. So we still have some work to do, but we will be gathering and summarizing all of the comments where there are trends that we can incorporate into the plan. In terms of goals and objectives, we will certainly do that.
Joining us right now on The Splash, we have Brian Keesey, the Senior Principal Planner of McKenna, talking about the master plan process with West Bloomfield and what it's like to be gathering this information from the residents and executing it properly to the city. And you're also working with a lot of big developers here in West Bloomfield. How does that factor in with working with township officials on constructing the master plan, within working with these big developers?
Yeah, we have had some individual interviews with the residential development companies that are frequently doing work within the township and trying to understand what is working, what is slowing them down in the development process, and trying to get a better understanding of how we as the township can improve processes to help support some of the housing options that we need and anticipate. And working with them to communicate some of the amenities that the township, the boards and planning commission expect when those projects come before the township for approval.
And in working with some of these big developers like Apex Apartments and Town Court Apartments on Orchard Lake Road, what might that lead to as that we see in the future for developments?
The those projects that are already completed are good models for the amenities that we hope to see in that particular area, especially along Orchard Lake. The township already includes some requirements for points of interest, things like public art, benches, pedestrian amenities, things like that, that um, we anticipate those to be incorporated into additional developments as they come online.
Interesting. And one of the other big things that you guys are talking about a lot, or the Planning Commission has discussed a lot, is an Orchard Lake corridor in the town center district. How critical is that area to the future of township planning, would you say?
I think it's already been identified as the heart, if you will, of activity within the township, and will continue to need to be. We've spoken with the Planning Commission, and several of those commissioners felt it very important for us to develop some activity nodes along that corridor to encourage people within the township and even outside of the township to come visit and spend time.
That's absolutely right. You want to make sure you bring everyone right here to Greater West Bloomfield and enjoy everything that it has to offer. Now, there is a timeline in place with the master plan. How is it looking right now, and how would you say you guys are in terms of keeping that pace right now?
Yeah, so when we started this project, it was approximately a 12-month timeline from initiation to when we hope to have the plan adopted. I mentioned we finished up the online engagement at the end of the year, finishing up some of these individual interviews to collect public feedback, and then we'll start drafting over the next couple months. So our hope is to have a draft of the plan to the Planning Commission in late April, maybe early May. At that point in time, we'll make some adjustments. We'll talk about specifics that need to be incorporated into the plan. And then we'll follow the state guidelines for publishing notice and requesting additional feedback from the public. So once the Planning Commission sees the draft and are happy with it, they will make a recommendation to the Township Board to send that out for public comment. And then there's a 63-day, so about a 2-month period of time where the township is open to collect feedback from the public. So we hope that the residents, business owners, all continue to do that and monitor that plan and provide us some feedback on if we have hit the mark and what other things that we should consider before the plan goes to final adoption. So that would put us on pace later this fall to formally adopt the full plan.
All right, great to hear about all of these updates. And how can the residents of West Bloomfield continue to get involved in helping with this master plan and helping you guys along?
Yeah, we have a website. It's www.westbloomfieldplans.com. You can also connect to that website through the planning department page on West Bloomfield Township's website. We are posting updates to the schedule, next steps, draft text as it will become available will go onto that website. So that is our hub for information for the plan.
All right, great information to have out there. Brian, any additional information you could provide for us before we let you go?
No, we just encourage our residents to keep an eye on the plan, provide feedback, however you feel is appropriate. We do have contact information on that website, and we're happy to listen.
All right, well, we can't wait to see what's to come in the next few months right here in West Bloomfield. Brian, thank you so much for your time today on The Splash.
Thank you for having me, Jake.